Perfect. Perfect. Welcome to Dirty Fanatics United.
Falcon fans, Falcon Nation. Appreciate you turning in to Dirty Fanatics United. You're watching episode 86 live on a Tuesday night. As always, I'm your host, Chase, followed by my co-host, Philip, and the man below, Cody Keeler. Philip, Cody, what's been going on, man? We weren't able to talk about the preseason 2 game. Been a busy schedule since the game. It was on a weird Saturday morning at 12 o'clock. We did a little pregame show, me and Philip. Guys, what's been going on since the game?
Starting a new job today, but other than that, man, we're looking up the news, staying like in the loop, see what's happening. We officially signed Justin Simmons. That is always a great thing to hear and see. We're gonna get to see a good 31 in the building soon, so that's a blessing.
Absolutely.
Other than that, man, it's just been a blessed little week.
Exciting signings have came in the past week and a half. Philip, we're going to speak on that more here on the show tonight. Cody, before we get to that, what's been going on, though?
Yeah, man, just working away, man. Just working till another Saturday till we can get home and call it a weekend.
Absolutely, man. It's been a pretty busy week for me, and not going to lie. A week away from delivery date officially today, so things are getting kind of real. Appreciate everybody that's tuning in, man. Leave a comment here. We're about to talk some Falcon football. Before we do so, headed to the comment section. Wallace Smith in the chat said, "What's going on, fam?" Wallace, appreciate you tuning in tonight, brother. Hit that like button. Philip, Cody, preseason game number 2. We took the L, 13-12. You did not see Michael Penix Jr. got 0 snaps the entire game. Will not get another snap this preseason from reports. Raheem Morris has said that he's seen what he needs to see out of the young rookie. Philip, Cody, we're going to touch base on that here in a minute. Your thoughts, Philip, on Michael Penix Jr., and I'm doing quotations because this is how the rumor is around the league. Supposedly, Raheem Morris has seen enough out of Michael Penix Jr. in the preseason. Some fans would argue and say Penix is not going to see the field this year. Let him get the playing time now in preseason. And some fans like I say, well, if he's the true backup, we do not need him getting hurt. I'm 100% cool in Kirk Cousins. He says he's healthy. He says he'll be here week 1. But there's still that little bit in the back of my mind saying this man could potentially be re-injured, and you have to lean on Michael Penix. Philip, Cody, your thoughts?
I agree. I don't see the problem. I don't see the huge problem with not playing him. You know what I mean? Just for that instant. But say something did happen. Then you say it had something happen to Kirk, and then say something this preseason happened to Penix. Who do you rely on then? Is it going to be you're going to have to be forced maybe to keep Taylor Heineke? And I already know none of us is going to want that. You know what I mean? So I don't see what the big issue is. I'm kind of happy he done it. He's being secure with it. I'm on the side of Raheem on this one. You know what I mean? Keeping him safe, healthy. He played great that first game. Imagine what he could do with starters. It's going to be even crazier. So he continues to keep, impressing everybody in practice. So, I don't see a big deal about it. You know what I mean?
Cody, Michael Penix Jr. possibly not taking another snap here in preseason. I say possibly, but Raheem's already signified that Michael Penix Jr. will not see another rep here until, I guess you could say, practice, training camp. If they run a 2-quarterback set throughout the season, who knows what could happen here in Atlanta. Cody, your thoughts? Michael Penix Jr. getting no more snaps this season unless they play him in regular season.
This is probably going to be one of the rare times that we disagree, guys. Michael Penix is a rookie and he needs to be playing. To me, it was shocking that he wasn't playing. Now I understand that the injury bug is kind of going around, not just with us, but Minnesota just lost their young quarterback for the season. So for me, it's one of those things is like, I understand where Coach Raw is coming from. I really do. You don't want to get your guy hurt, especially with your veteran quarterback coming off the Achilles. But my thing is he needs time. And I understand where he's coming from. He is getting to learn behind Kirk Cousins. He is getting, reps during practice and stuff like that. But for me, I think it's real critical for him, because if all goes well, if everything goes according to plan, which, everybody's got a plan until you get punched in the mouth, he's probably not going to see playing time for 2 years. And so for him to be sitting out preseason is a little odd. I understand that you don't want the injuries, you don't want that stuff, but don't play scared at this point, man. Right. If he goes down, if he would have gone down, we definitely don't want Tyler Heineke being your backup to Kirk Cousins, because we've seen what that looks like. But I don't think there would be anything wrong with running Penix out there for a drive or two, or maybe 3. I'm not saying play him 2-3 quarters. I'm not saying play him an entire quarter. Let him do 3 drives and then gank him. But I think so. To me, I understand where he's coming from, but I think Penix needs a little more time. Just to kind of get that. Like I say, keep him out of harm's way. Yes, and it could be anything like Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers was out there for 4 plays, and then next thing you know, his season's done. So you're never guaranteed, the next play you being okay. But for me personally, I understand, but again, it's like I would like to see at least a little bit more just to get him more well-rounded in case something does happen to Kirk. Well, that's just my thought. My thoughts on it. But
that's a valid point too, though. I mean, it's not.
I see. I'm on the fence.
I can see both. I can see both ways.
Fence. I'm on the fence with the whole situation because we all three. I think Cody was at work live here on the podcast when the news broke by Phillip, and I was kind of shocked, guys. I looked at both of you guys, and I was
looking forward to seeing him Saturday.
Playing? Like, can we clarify this isn't an injury before we broadcast this? And then Phillip comes back. It's not an injury. He's just not dressed out. He's in street clothes. So I was a little like, well, I want to see the man progress. I want to see him get better, but I also don't want to see him hurt, And we're, as fans, Raheem Morris is around the guy 24/7. Where he eats, where he lifts weights, where he plays football. And if coach says that he's seen enough, then I'm gonna, trust in coach. That's my motto for the year, man. Trust in Coach Raw, and he'll lead us to the promise. But I'm with Cody as well. I want to see Penix on the field progress. I want to see him get better each drive. And like Cody said, it doesn't have to be a quarter. It doesn't have to be a half a quarter, just a drive. 5
I think
plays,
that's what
plays.
I would probably do. I like that. To me, you don't want to risk him getting injured, but playing for a little bit. It's just a little bit. It's not going to hurt. You know what I mean? The way the line works, it's been working. They've been protecting everyone. Really, the line looks overall pretty good. So
comment here from Wallace, man. It says, so what is that going to prove to run Penix for 3 drives and then take him out? I don't think it proves anything, but I think it gives him NFL experience.
Yep, because he's already proved himself.
We're not saying Penix hasn't proved himself. Obviously, Raheem Morris has stated that to national media that Penix has showed him what he needs to see in practice, and that's cool. That's cool. But as Cody said, if you get Kirk Cousins in Game 3 and Kirk Cousins goes down, now you have a Michael Penix Jr. that was already supposed to be a bust. Everybody called that draft pick that the Falcons were crazy for it. And now they're falling back on what they're saying and saying that maybe the Falcons were dominant for doing that, because then you go get a Matthew Judon, which signifies the Dallas Turner signing that the Falcons didn't do in the draft. So all in all, maybe the Falcons had the spotlight to say, hey, we're going to go get a pass rusher, but we're going to take our quarterback here at 8. So that's what the 3 drives mean to me. It's not that it proves anything for me, Mr. Wallace, but it's the fact that it gives him that NFL experience, that those live rushers coming at you, something you don't get in practice. You don't take those hits in practice. And an NFL hit is what welcomes you to the NFL.
What I'll say, what proved him to Raheem is basically what the media even said, reporters. He sliced and diced the number 1 defense. That's to me, that's impressive. That too, you know what I mean? That's what got him, his go-to. He thinks he's ready.
Yep.
Well, seeing my thing again, to your point, Chase, it's not about what do you have to prove. It's about getting reps in, because again, if everything goes according to plan, Penix isn't going to touch an NFL field as a starter for at least 2 to 3 years. So it's not about proving that he can go out there and doing it. It's just getting him well-rounded and ready for it, because God forbid anything Kirk Cousins goes down. So let's say for a second that Kirk does go down and Penix doesn't play another snap in preseason. We now are back.
You got a guy that's now had a half a quarter.
Exactly. We've got a quarterback that has got a half a quarter of preseasons against 2s and 3s coming in. And I'm not saying that he can't do it against 1s. I'm not. Right. I think he can get in there and do all right. But I would feel a lot more comfortable if he had a little bit more experience. Again, it's not about proving anything. I think Penix could step on the field and probably start for a lot of these NFL teams. Ask me if the Raiders right now wouldn't rather have Michael Penix over Gardner Minshew right now, because they would. But again, it's not about proving anything. It's not that I don't think he's ready. It's not that I don't think that he can't get the job done. It's 100%. Just those reps. Those reps are so important. They're all important.
Absolutely. Shout out to Wallace Smith for his comment.
I'll probably change my answer to
everybody viewing right now. Everybody viewing here in the live chat, leave me a comment. Shout out to Moms. Mom's, she left the comment. Happy Tuesday, DFU. Rise up. Shout out to Mama. Philip, Cody, I want to hear from the comment section. I want to know what other Falcon fans have to say about this Michael Penix Jr. So we're going to talk about this for a little bit longer. Comment just came in here from Alberto Molina. Said, fellas, what's good? Even though he doesn't have the NFL experience, that doesn't mean he has to throw 100 times a game. He has 2 monsters in the backfield to respond his experience. I could agree to Alberto to a certain extent, and my extent here is because we did that last year. We did that the year before. We did it the year before that, and we could not get over 8 wins. Right. The run game works in the NFL, and I'm not knocking Tyler Algier or Bijan Robinson, but the passing game is what excels on offense in the NFL. Tell me one team in the playoffs last year that did not have a quarterback that threw over constantly 200 yards a game, 200, 300 yards a game. I'm about willing to bet, and I haven't even looked this stat up, but I'm about willing to bet the last 4 teams standing in the playoffs, each one of their quarterbacks throw for over 200 yards a game. Philip, Cody, Alberto, great response there. And I agree to you to a certain extent. Bijan and Algier will both be very dynamic pieces for this team here this coming up season. Cody, Philip, your thoughts?
Yeah, well, here's my thing about that is he's right. He's absolutely right. We've got Bijan, we got Tyler, and that's great. But again, here's what it comes down to is you make yourself one-dimensional. And when you can make a team one-dimensional, it makes you so much easier to beat. Look at, and I hate to bring this up, but this is one of those things that drives me nuts. What did Kyle Shanahan do to us in the Super Bowl? He made us one-dimensional because he would not run the damn football. Now, if you take away the pass and you flip the situations, you're going to have the same problem, but it's going to be worse because, throwing the football is, 7, 8, 9 yards. Yes, of course, running backs can break them off, but what's the average NFL run? Maybe 3-4 yards a run if you're lucky, 5 if you're doing really good.
Right.
So again, if you make yourself one-dimensional and everybody knows that the run's coming, so you stack the box.
Exactly what they did last year.
And that's exactly it. And I'm not saying that, Alberto's saying that we're only going to run or that we'll be purely run. But again, do you really want your rookie quarterback coming up against now number ones? He's not playing second and third string guys anymore. He's playing number ones in the NFL with
and they ain't stopping. And they ain't stopping when they
really exactly. So
this is mean.
You want him to have that repetition. You want him to have that practice. Again, I understand the injuries. I understand all that stuff, but repetition. Again, it comes down to our point. What we've been saying on these podcasts: consistency. Mm-hmm. If you don't have consistency, especially at the quarterback position, because there were things that Michael Penix needed to work on. Yes, he looked great. He looked. I won't say great, but I'll say he looked very good in his first preseason game, but there were things he could work on. And I understand you can work on those things in practice, but again, we're not talking live football situations anymore. We're talking padded practice where he's not allowed to be hit, where he's not allowed to, he may get hands in his face, but he's not throwing with guys that are coming with their hair on fire about to light his ass up. He does in the preseason. Again, it doesn't need to be full quarters. It doesn't need to be 3 drives, man. There's nothing wrong. If you go 3 and out, all 3 drives, yank him. If you go, if you drive and it's 15 plays each one, yank him. I don't care. But he needs that. He needs that stuff to fine tune his game.
I agree, Cody. I agree 100% with you. Shout out to Alberto for the comment, man. We appreciate you. Hit that like button, Alberto.
This is a good
Appreciate.
topic.
Yeah, no doubt.
We got to make this a real.
Yeah, we just went 15 minutes here talking about Michael Penix Jr. and Alberto
Because
and Wallace Smith was a good 10 minutes. So shout out to the comment section.
Everybody commenting, including us, making valid points. Like, nobody's wrong here. That's the good thing about it. Nobody's here is wrong. It's just
that's the thing about a podcast. This thing about this podcast in particular. Everybody has their own opinion, and some people agree, some people disagree, but we're always here to listen.
Because every point is very valid too. It's a crazy thing.
Cody, we'll get back to the Michael Penix Jr. talk, I'm sure, as more comments roll in here. But let's speak on Saturday at 12 o'clock. We took on the Ravens. We looked pretty good. Defense looked way better. Run defense was phenomenal, I would say, because your second string and some of your third, they played together. They played very nice together in the run game.
We got a sack.
Yeah, we got it. However you say it. 1 sack on the board. So shout out to Root for getting his first NFL sack. Fill it with the memes as soon as it happens. Philip, Cody, I don't want to sit here and spill out all the good players and everything that happened. Give me your highlights from Saturday at 12 o'clock.
Natron Brooks.
And why, Philip? Why Natron Brooks? What did Natron Brooks do Saturday to
Dog was everywhere on the field, bro. Like, looking at the, I will say, they're closer to the end of the game. I did stop watching. It was because, I
mean, it's preseason. It happens.
But I will admit, majority of the game I was watching. Every single time, like when I was there, he was everywhere on the ball. Whether it was a tackle, stop, doesn't matter. I'm pretty sure he had a pick too, did he not? No.
I
don't think he did.
I think so.
No, he didn't. Okay. But he was everywhere on the tackles. Like, it was just, he was there batting balls.
Coverage was nice from Natron Brooks.
Yeah, like it was just like he's been, he was comfortable doing it.
But let me explain something, and I'm sure Philip, you've been a Falcon fan for years. Saturday, you had a lot more pressure on the quarterback than what you had that first game. Right. Guess what that calls? Natron Brooks put the straps down on the receivers on the back end because there's pressure getting to the quarterback.
Another player you can mention, Bertrand, again.
J.D. Bertrand, another
dog. America.
With the green dot, a rookie with the green dot running with the second team, man. Bertrand's going to be nice. And that's the first thing I sent to a group chat Saturday is, man, this J.D. Bertrand still in the show. Still in the show again, early Saturday. I need to pull the stats up, man. What am I waiting on? Let's go and pull the stats up. But J.D. Bertrand, Carlos Washington Jr. running the ball strong again.
Showed out.
How about a guy that I was high on last year, got cut, didn't make the team, came back this year. Chris Blair, number 19, lighting the field up Saturday. I mean, Chris Blair was really, put Casey Washington in a shadow because Chris Blair was dominating Saturday.
And this is not just a second game. He was also showing out first game as well. So
yeah, he did. He had the.
It's going to be a tough spot because he's in a bigger receiver position. Like, you know what I mean? Like he's going to be like.
He's getting more reps.
He's not what you say. He's not what you say slot receiver either, though. So he's working for his spot and he's trying to prove that he's there for a reason. And I like it because he's showing out. When people Taylor Heineke throwing the ball.
Taylor Heineke actually went 8 for 16.
Hey, he actually had a good game too.
114 passing yards. Didn't do too bad. I believe he's auditioning for other teams. I think that's all this is right now. The Atlanta Falcons are doing their due diligence, giving the man his time to shine for another team, whether that be here in Atlanta or wherever that may be. But, man, first preseason game. Cody, you go ahead before I break it down Saturday. But your Saturday, you was at work, obviously, and I'm sure you watched a good bit. You was in the comment section with us. What did you see Saturday, and what kind of excited you?
Yeah, so the main thing I wasn't watching individuals. I was watching more group stuff. Offensive line, second and third string guys, man, didn't allow a whole lot of pressure, and that was good to see. I think there was only one play Tyler kind of had to do a little bit of magic to get out of what I was, able to watch at work. But the offensive line was looking real strong, and then you can't ignore the defense, the jump that they made from preseason game 1 to 2. Rook, man, come busting through that line with that sack, dude. I thought he had split, Baltimore's quarterback in half as hard as he hit him. It was good to see. It was good to see pressure. Now, again, I would have liked to have seen, more sacks, but it's showing that we're able to get pressure. Again, disclaimer, I understand it's 2s and 3s and blah, blah, blah. It's not Lamar Jackson and his offensive line.
Cody, our number was for sacks was 3. We
right.
both said 3. And we came away with 2, so we got 2 sacks from the game.
Yeah, it was definitely a lot better. Still would have liked to have seen more. I wanted that number 3, but I'll take 2. Beggars can't be choosers on that, and we haven't had a whole lot of sacks going on, so 2's definitely better than none.
I think the only game since we've seen multiple sacks was from Adrian Claiborne against the Cowboys. That one game.
That feels about right. I think
that was the last time we seen multiple sacks in one game.
Dude, that was a crazy ass game.
What was it? 5 sacks on Dak?
Yeah,
yes, sir. I was there for that one.
And the Cowboys were supposed to whoop our behind, dude. Yeah. They were supposed to whip us a new one.
I remember you bet on that game too, Chase.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, it was a long day. That was a long day for my dad sitting next to me watching that one. we were actually there in the building when it happened. So, oh man. Yeah. It was a blast, but yeah, it's good to see that that the defensive scheme is kind of working now. You're getting pressures and now you're getting sacks. Now, hopefully, it's kind of like John was telling us. You may go games, where it's none, and then all of a sudden it's 2 here, and then 3 the next one, and then 1 here, and then 3 here, and maybe none. But then they come in bunches. Mm-hmm. So hopefully this is the start of them coming in bunches, and hopefully it doesn't wear off. In the middle of the regular season, that if you do, it wears off during bye week, and then we roll again. So, but yeah, no, definitely excited to see the defense getting their act together. They were really, we had a mobile quarterback back there. I didn't see him make any spectacular plays with his feet. The running game, it seemed like they were all over that. So that was good to see because Miami cut us up pretty bad with their run game. And then again, the offensive line holding their own again against 2s and 3s, but our 2s and 3s were holding their own against, guys of similar skill level. So hopefully that continues as well. Your first stringers see that and they want to, oh, well, here comes, whoever, and look at what they're, I need to step up my game. So hopefully that all translates into week 1 against Pittsburgh. So, but it was definitely an improvement over week 1.
Speaking of spits. That's how ass they are. I botched their name. Speaking of them, whatever the hell they are.
17 points and what is it? 13 points or 17 points in
between Russell Wilson and Justin Fields. They combined of 3 total points. That's last game.
Speaking of that, too, did you see Justin?
Shout out to all of you, whoever it was on here, won't either one of them.
I will say now, here's the thing, too. Remember, that was what I was about to say. Remember how Justin Fields was supposed to come in here and be the savior for the Falcons, and we messed up by letting him go to Pittsburgh?
Don't even get me started on the deep ball he threw.
Well, and now they're not even having him practice at quarterback. They have him practicing at wide receiver. So he must have sucked it up at, the special teams thing, and now trying wide receiver. Crazy. So. Falcons, we dodged a bullet, so good job, guys.
It's the funny thing.
A guy that we like pretty good bit, the Alabama running back, baby. The Alabama running back, baby, with 11 carries, 55 yards, averaging 5 yards per carry. Definitely, probably going to make the roster spot. It's gonna be. I think between him and Carlos Washington because you already have a Tyler Algier, Bijan Robinson. So what? You're gonna go into the season with 4 players at running back? I don't think so. Maybe you sign one to
one's gonna probably
maybe you
be
sign one to
practice.
the practice squad. Yeah, one will probably be practice squad. One will be on the regular roster here for the Falcons. Carlos Washington Jr., a guy that we were big on after game 1. I thought he had better stats in this, but still ranks in number 2 in rushing for the Falcons. 9 carries for 39 yards, 4.3 averaging. So Carlos Washington did fare well. I mean, he did get injured for a little while during the game. He missed a couple of plays, so Phillip called that as well during the game. Carlos Washington Jr., even sitting out half a game, still came in, 9 carries, 39 yards, 4.3 as an average. Mr. Brown Spencer Brown from the Panthers, used to play for the Panthers, Spencer Brown, 4 carries for 26 yards, and averaging 6.5. So not too bad there as well. A lot of players getting cut here soon. 53-man roster. The depth chart was just released. Their last depth chart before the 53-man roster was just released. So we're going to hit on that tonight as well. Chris Blair, 4 receptions, 91 yards with an average of 22.8. Chris Blair is making this team, Falcon.
He's had
unless he just comes out here in this last game and just sucks it up. But I truly believe Chris Blair will make a roster spot here on the Atlanta Falcons. Wallace Smith said Blair and Washington is going to make the roster for sure. Anthony White in the chat said, great job, fellas. Anthony White, hit that like button, brother. It's been a minute. Glad to have you here in the comment section. Wallace Smith said, I tried to tell people that Fields or Wilson wasn't the answer. Wallace said, I think they're going to have 4 backs on the roster with Avery being the kick returner. That's very possible. So, Wallace, if you had to choose one, are you going Jace McClellan or Carlos Washington Jr. on your roster? Phillip, Cody, that question to you as well. Are you going the young cat from Alabama, McClellan, or are we going with the seasoned guy, Carlos Washington Jr. here, to be your third-string running back in the season?
I feel like I haven't seen enough. I'm not saying we've seen him, a good bit this preseason, but I feel like I haven't seen consistently seeing him a whole lot. You know what I mean? I want to see more of what he can do.
Who? Because Carlos?
No, Jace McClellan.
Okay.
Because he has potential. I remember seeing him back at Alabama. He's got talent, and if he obviously he's not probably going to outshine Bijan or Tyler Algier, but he has the talent. As say one goes down or whatever, he can step up to that plate. I feel like I feel like he can hold his own doing that. Maybe nothing comes to that, but he has the talent to hold his own at becoming potentially next man up. You know what I mean?
Cody, if you had to pick one, obviously this is only the second preseason game. It sucks that they got rid of the 4th preseason game because that was like, having that 4th.
For my sanity, they blessed us with that, though.
Well, I mean, yeah, because your season rolls up faster now. But who do you pick, man? Are you saving a roster spot for Jace McClellan, or are you giving it to the seasoned guy, Carlos Washington Jr.?
You can't go wrong on either of these either, bro.
Yeah, that's definitely.
You can't. At third string, you really can't.
Yeah, I think I would probably go McClellan just because he's one of those true Alabama backs. Just to he can get
Alabama creates backs. I'm sorry.
They just do. As much as I hate to say that as a Georgia fan, I think you would have to keep him. Not only that, but because of his age too. Running backs tend to burn out quicker than they used to. So I think you got to take the young guy, Bama back, big Bama backs that they love, trotting out there. So only because of age and. I think kind of like Phillip said, I think he could step up to play. Not that
Carlos Washington.
Washington couldn't. But again, youth rules when it comes to the backs. I know there are some guys, the Emmitt Smiths, the Derrick Henrys, up there in age that are still dominant, but you just don't see it as much anymore. So I'm going with the young guy.
I can agree, man. I think I'm going Jace McClellan. Young Alabama back, as you guys said, they produce backs in Alabama. I don't know what it is, but every Alabama back that's came out, I mean, you could name a whole handful of Alabama backs that have made an impact on a team somewhere in the NFL. So I'm going Jace McClellan. I think that would be my roster spot for Jace McClellan. And I could be wrong. They could cut the guy tomorrow. Who knows what happens with these Atlanta Falcons and what they decide to do. But Jace McClellan, I think, making a spot for himself here on this roster. We talked about Chris Blair with the 4 receptions, 91 yards, averaging 22.8. Chris Blair signified a spot here on this roster to me. Another player didn't get too many flashy highlights, but he's getting action. He's getting the ball. John Fitzpatrick, 3 catches for 14 yards, averaging 4.7. I wanted to see more this year. I wanted to see more from him because you got now Kyle Pitts that's possibly going to be playing out in a widespread. That would be a chance for Charlie Warner on one side and maybe a John Fitzpatrick to come into the game.
You
now.
can see
A big body reception or receiver for.
He's going to make the team. He's going to make the team.
John Fitzpatrick, another one I think that signified a spot. Natron Brooks. Philip, Cody, we've talked about him. Natron Brooks, 8 tackles, 5 assists, balling when it comes to being at
making
the point
good
of contact.
He's making a good depth role.
Making a good depth role here in Atlanta. Now
and he's just going to get better.
Simmons, Jesse Bates.
That's what I'm saying. Learning from guys like that.
Phillips III is still intercepting balls at practice.
Yeah.
I mean
learning, just playing with them guys, and if you continue to play you're doing, you're just going to make yourself better. You know what I mean?
So we can all agree Saturday's game, other than one extent, and we're going to get to that here in a minute, but Saturday's game was a better game than the first preseason game.
Yeah.
Overall, yes.
Overall,
yes.
But now we've got to talk. Now we've got to dig into business. All right. Now we got to take a shovel out. We got to find the deep, dirty coal in the very bottom. Younghoe Koo, why are you missing field goals in preseason from 45 yards? Why are we missing field goals from 45 yards that we can hit field goals at 54, 56? Koo, what are we doing, man? I'm tired of every time you go to the kick. I'm like in my seat clenching before I yell "Ooh," because I don't know if he's gonna make it. I don't know. And let's be real right here. And we're gonna go around the panel. We're gonna listen to people in the comment section. But let's be real right here. You knew what Koo was when you signed Koo, okay? And then he came to Atlanta year 1 and balled out. And then balled out. He balled out year 1, year 2, year 3. This is year 4, I believe, now for Koo in Atlanta. You've had consistent play out of Koo. You haven't had bad play, but the past few years, last year and this year,
it's just been inconsistent.
It's over 5 to 6 game-winning field goals that could have changed the outcome of a game to put you maybe in the postseason last year. Younghoe Koo, Falcon fans, is it time? Let me know in the comment section. Philip, Cody, coming to y'all next. Falcon fans in the comment section, is it time to bring some competition in the room for Younghoe Koo? Philip, start with you, and we'll rotate to Cody.
I don't know about no cards, but I don't know, man. Something's got to change, man. You know what I mean? Something's just not right. Either you bring somebody in that can do the job, or push him to do his job better. Because whether the field was wet or not, that is no excuse. This is the NFL. You played in college, no domes, no nothing. The only dome you playing in is maybe a championship game, maybe. But that's out of the years. You learn to kick on grass, whether it's wet, whatever. It doesn't matter. To me, that's no excuse. Personally, I feel like you can find a kicker. I promise. Bring somebody in.
That's what I'm saying. There's somebody out there that can light a fire or take the job.
Yes, that's all I'm gonna say.
Falcon fans,
I like the guy though. Don't get me wrong, but something's got to change, man.
Falcon fans in the comment section, let me know. Younghoe Koo, because what is the problem? Should we bring in somebody to compete, or should we bring in somebody to possibly steal that job?
Because last year was the excuse. Last year was that the soreness of the leg, like the pulled leg kind of. I can understand that, but this is a new year. You're past that. Whether it's unless it then came, hurts bothering you again, but that's your place to tell someone that you're. You know what I mean? Like
shout out to Cuomo Corey real quick before we get to Cody and his views on Younghoe Koo. Do anyone need graphical stuff for their gaming streams, business logo for your talk show or podcast? If so, may just hit me up on Discord. It's Cormac Corey.
Time out. That is a Twitch bot. Do not go to that. They will
Do
scam.
not go to the bot.
I get them every time in streams. Do not.
Hey, bot. What's up on that, bot? Alberto in the chat, real quick before we get to Cody, says, yes, last season he was inconsistent, and we don't need to have games that come down to field goals. Cody, we have more comments here from live viewers, but I want to get your take, sir, a diehard Younghoe Koo fan right here in the podcast. Cody Keeler, your thoughts, Younghoe Koo, brother. Is it time for some competition? I mean, what's going on? Talk to me.
Okay.
Is
So,
pretty cool.
the Koo's my boy. Plain and simple. So I'm going to sit here and defend him. Y'all talk about my boy now. It's okay. It's preseason. I understand he was a little inconsistent last year with the soreness. It's preseason. He's trying out new things too. He's working on things. He's working on mechanics. He's working on all that stuff too. It'll be okay. I'm telling you right now that Younghoe Koo will have his shit together.
Cody, if Koo comes in this season and misses 3 field goals, I'm
I-
calling Cody up.
But I do have a point.
Dude,
though. I might have a point.
Okay.
Is it the guy holding? Who is holding the ball for him? Maybe it's a
Bradley Pinion, the
second
same
team.
guy from last
Okay,
year.
well
Bradley
then.
Pinion.
Okay,
Well,
then I don't know.
So that is all still the same, but you have to remember it is Younghoe Koo's off season 2 coming off of soreness too. He will get it together. I believe in Koo. If I believe before I was even on this podcast, one of my comments, y'all were talking about Younghoe Koo, and I put in the comment section, if my life was on the line from 56 out,
I do remember
I'm
that.
telling you that Younghoe Koo is saving my life. I've got my Koo flag here. It'll be at the games.
You know what?
I've got my Koo jersey that I'll be rocking I'll be rocking next year. The grass. I'm not going to make excuses for the guy. I understand that, but here's the thing. Let him work out his mechanics. Let him get it. This is where you want him to miss. If he's gonna miss, let him miss now.
No doubt. In preseason.
That's the thing. It's preseason. Let him miss because we've seen it out at practice. They put out videos of him drilling him, and they're talking about him drilling. Hell, he just made a 56, 54-yard field goal in that same game. So obviously he still has it's the first one. So he still has the leg. He still has the accuracy. He's going to work on his mechanics. He's going to be okay.
No, who said
it's hard though, but like when you expect this, because before last season, I think right at the end of the season, right before he started missing those field goals, the only guy that was more as accurate or right on par with Justin Tucker was our guy Younghoe Koo.
I'm going to throw this out here as well.
Who will get it together?
If Raheem didn't think he was the guy, he would have been gone from the start.
Well, no doubt. No doubt. I agree with you.
So again, and like I say, the grass may have, they did say that the grass was wet. Now, I'm not giving him excuses because you're going to play in games where the grass is wet. You're going to have to figure that out. But maybe that's situational football where they're going, okay, well, the grass is wet. Let's see. Let's try something a little different.
Certain cleats where
it could have been cleits. Maybe he didn't have.
You have turf cleats. You have normal grass.
We just don't know because
it's just a preseason game. Didn't prepare for wet grass, so he just brought only one pair. You know what I mean?
It could very easily be that.
Whoever stole his vehicle back in 2020 or 2021, whatever year it was, can we bring the cleats back? Just bring the cleats back because he was not missing when he had those cleats on.
Right. So whoever in Buckhead stole Koo's cleats, please bring them back. We need him. But again, like I say, it'll be okay. It's preseason. It's no different than if what if let's say this for instance. Let's say we put Kirk Cousins. He's playing preseason, right? For whatever reason, and he throws 2 or 3 interceptions. Are we calling for his job? No, because it happens. Mm-hmm. This is where you want them to make their mistakes. This is where you want them to miss field goals, miss touchdowns, drop passes, so they learn. I will tell you this right now. You will learn more from failing than you will ever do from succeeding. Yeah, succeeding is great, and we want succession, and we want all that stuff. But he will learn, Koo's a great kicker. I mean, again, I understand the misses last year and stuff like that. But he will get better, and he's proven that. He's absolutely proven that. And to Philip's point, if he couldn't get the job done, Raheem's not keeping him around. Raheem would be pulling somebody and being like, "Competition time, boy," Mm-hmm. But that's not what he's doing. He's given him. Again, I think we know what we can get from him. You're going to have those years where you're inconsistent. You're going to have bad years. It happens to us, And for as much as we like to say, "Hey, it's a chip shot," it's really, think about that. Like if you or I were to go out there and try that, I'm guarantee you could put me on the 25 fucking yard line and I'm missing every one of them.
Yeah, no doubt.
So as much as we like to go, oh, it's automatic. It's not as automatic as you think. It's still, it's hard. There's only 32 of them doing it. It's because it's not easy. So I'm not worried. Let him get his misses out in preseason. So like my prediction, he's going to have a perfect year. He's not going to miss one. He'll be all right.
Okay, hey, Cody, I can rock with that. Koo comes out, and even if Koo misses 1 to 2, 3 throughout the season, if you miss 3 field goals throughout a whole 16-game season,
right?
That's not too bad.
That's not bad at all.
No.
I just don't want Koo to go out there and do what he did Saturday. And
no,
so,
absolutely.
Cody, I'm all for it, dude. If Koo can get it back together and Koo can get it rolling, I'm Koo training all day. You'll hear me in the bins yelling.
It's gonna be cool
every kick.
But and to be fair though, if he does what he does Saturday in a regular season, guys, my inbox is open. Come at me. I'll say and we'll discuss it.
No, man, I love the diehardism in you for Koo. Before
I
you go on
trust
the
him too,
podcast,
man.
I seen you with the Koo jersey on at the stadium a million times. I was like, yeah, this guy rocks with Koo. Shout out to Koo, man. No shots at Koo, but
No.
Saturday did have me a little bummed out.
Yes,
Yeah,
absolutely. Please tighten it up.
But like I said, overall, Saturday was the better game. No, you didn't get the win because you went for the 2-point conversion at the end of the game. You could have tied it 13-13, but who cares? Preseason game. I would have loved to send Koo out there for a field goal though, just so he could have made another field goal. But I mean, you go for the 2-point conversion. It doesn't.
You could have won the game.
Let me ask you this. Let me ask you guys this. It's preseason, so maybe I'm looking too far into it. It's preseason, so they go for 2-point conversion, right? They try to win the game. They know there's no overtime in preseason. Was it the fact that they wanted to win the game, or was it the fact that they did not want a chance Koo missing another foot goal?
I think it's just
a question. Just a question.
I just think it's personally they just want to win the game or see what these players do in these certain moments.
Your 2-point conversion.
Because it's all about testing what they're going to do in the big moments, and that's 2-point conversions most of the time in the league is a very big pretty much to take the lead most of the time.
Yep.
You're going in there to see how they perform at this exact moment. See if they do it well, and I think that's what Raheem's been doing. You know what I mean?
Great.
Past 2 games has been like that. The past 2 games he's done that. Well, and he could have kicked it the first game as well. He didn't want that. He wants to test them.
Yeah, and see, and that's the thing.
He's making them better.
Yeah, no, and Philip's absolutely right. I would say this is one of the things that people forget about preseason. We always want to see the Falcons win, regardless. I'm the same way. I don't care what they're doing. I don't care if it's a pie eating contest. I want to see the Falcons win, regardless of what they're doing, always. But the one thing that you have to remember about preseason is preseason, and you're getting situational game situations in.
Pretty much what we've seen in practice.
Exactly. It's just live, exactly like Philip said. It's just live football situations that you will face in the regular season that you can't get in practice. So if you're taking L's, it sucks. And everybody's going to, gripe and moan and bitch about it. But they're not there to win football games now. They're there to get better at situations. And so that's all Raw's doing is making sure that his team in the regular season goes, look, this is what we did in preseason. This didn't work. You missed this. If we do this, this is how this works out. And we score and we win and we go home. That's all it is people have got to quit panicking over preseason games. I understand the diehard. Believe me, again, I want the Falcons to win everything that they do all the time. But I also understand how important it is to try stuff like that, to do stuff like that, because it matters later on.
Next game is at Friday, 7:00. You muted?
Next Friday. Sorry, Phil, I was muted. Next Friday against the Jaguars. This coming up Friday, my bad. Okay. This coming up Friday at 7 against the Jags in the bins. Cody, I'm sure you're there, brother. Cody's in the bins with it. Friday, I will not be there. Like I said, week away today, officially a week away from delivery date. So a lot of stuff.
I'll be watching
around the previous household.
I'll definitely have to work the next morning, but hey, it don't matter. We get off at 1 o'clock.
I will definitely be watching the Falcons.
I'll still be watching.
Last preseason game. And then after that preseason game, DFU is going to have a podcast. And it's going to be who stays, who goes, because that's your last cut before the 53-man roster. We're going to go down the whole list, so be sure to tune in with DFU Friday
What
night.
day? Friday night.
Probably, if not Friday, we'll do it Saturday. Whatever day we're free, we'll all get together. We'll talk about it. Because, like I said,
Saturday.
Next Tuesday,
8.
I will not be able to do a show. But if you guys can do a show, run it.
Saturday at 8.
If Cody's free Saturday, that's cool.
At 8?
You can do a Saturday at 8, something like that. Millie Mills, what's up, brother? Appreciate you tuning in, man. Hit that like button, Millie.
I'll say, Chase, you don't want to do a live remote from the hospital room.
Please.
I'm sure your wife wouldn't appreciate that too much.
Yeah, I may get blessed out on the live if we do that. Shout out to Shannon. Shannon in the comment section said, can't wait for the NFL and Falcons. Rise up, Shannon. Appreciate you, Shannon. Hit that like button. And I challenge everybody here in the comment section, share it to a Falcon fan. Get DFU out to somebody else that does not know about DFU. Head over to our YouTube channel. We're at 415 subscribers right now. We want to hit that 500 mark badly before the season. Doesn't seem like that'll happen, but if we can get close to it, we appreciate it. Head over to YouTube, DFU_ATL, and hit that subscribe button, man. We'll be the first one that pops up. The subscribe button is free, people. So if you're watching on Facebook, head over to YouTube and hit that subscribe button if you have a YouTube channel. Falcon fans, we are talking Falcon football here at DFU. This is episode 86. Before we get up out of here, Philip, Cody, obviously a 53-man roster is coming up very shortly, very soon here for these players that want to make the team. Philip, Cody, expectations for Friday night, and maybe who do you look to make the team that is possibly on that chopping block?
That's tough, man. Like, who you think?
I'll give you one. Let's go with the linebacker core. Let's see, his name here, it slipped my mind, but I got it here. I took notes on it. Eifler, the linebacker. Camilo Eifler. 6 tackles, 2 assists, a dog when it came to maybe not making every tackle. Sorry, the sun's having a fit in the background. But it was either at every tackle or in filling every lane here for the Falcons last Saturday. Some plays he didn't make the play, but he was there. Another one, Brandon Dolores. My God, if this guy turns out to be a dog, man, what could happen there for Brandon Dolores? Philip, Cody, who do you think? And give me 1 second, I'll be right back.
I'm over here dropping money, but okay. But yeah, that was a good name, you know. Dang, I really don't know though. That's tough to me. I hate doing these because like I don't know, man. Like it just goes. I go brain dead.
Yeah, well, it's a little tough because you really don't feel like you've seen enough through 2 weeks. I know I haven't. I wouldn't have a name either. I really don't because I want to see more. Absolutely want to see more before I can even make that call. I'll definitely be watching, our young offensive, our 2s and 3s on the offensive line, man, it's just, I just haven't seen enough to make a decision on that yet. Not that, my opinion matters much on, but, yeah,
Who are you speaking about right now?
No, nobody. That's just it. I haven't seen enough football for me to be like, yeah, you're on the chopping block. Yeah, you're, because all these guys, it's just one of those things is like, I just haven't seen enough, man. I just have not seen enough.
It's just like one guy we spoke about earlier. For one, you could say maybe, Brooks.
Yeah.
You could see him go, but even though he's playing well.
I think after Saturday, Natron Brooks is going to make a really nice depth piece. That's what I'm saying.
Podcast. You could see him go, but like he's a guy that could make the team as well.
Right. Yep. Well, and it's kind of like the same thing. My guy that I wanted to watch Saturday, King, I didn't see much of him. Like he kind of
was inactive.
He
was inactive, I'm pretty sure.
Oh, was he inactive? Maybe. So I was going to say there was.
Him and Hamilton were, I'm pretty sure.
I was say
that means that just shows that they're good with their seat with him. I mean,
let me see. I got something.
And it might have been Hamilton. King, I can't remember, but I do remember Hamilton was inactive. I'm pretty sure King was too.
See, and if that's the case, if you're sitting some of these young guys, I know that you're around them 24/7, but you're telling me you've seen enough through 2 weeks of preseason football that you're sitting this many guys. There's no way. Again, I'm going to trust in Coach Raheem Morris. But again, I just think I don't know.
King originally, he is a vet, but he did come in late. So that's I agree. I wish I'd have to go back and look. I'm not gonna say he was inactive, but I swear he was.
Well, so I think it's going to be hard for some of these third-string players to make the roster because they're so deep at so many positions. And Brooks will make practice squad. And you can see that. You use that practice squad for a reason because when you have cornerbacks go down, and to me, a shallow department already as it is, I'm not too hyped about the backups at cornerback. I'm sorry, but if we can get pressure and we had those 2 shutdown safeties that we should not get beat, I'm cool with that. But Natron Brooks, I see him making the roster or either the practice squad at 100%. Real quick before we get out of here, man, for our shout-outs, I want to give a shout-out to the Flag Man. Check him out on Facebook, the Flag Man, all the way from Arizona, doing big things for the podcast here.
Yes, sir.
$35, people. $35 for customized flag gear. Great fabric. I mean, you can't beat it. Shout out to the Flag Man for coming through and doing, such a great job on the poster for the flag here for me in such a short notice as well. So shout out to the Flag Man. Philip, Cody, it's been a 50-minute show here. We've kind of touched on last preseason game. We've made some real content here during the live podcast that we're going to bring up here for the YouTube channel. Philip, Cody, shout outs for tonight.
As always, man, shout out to the big man. He's always blessed me with something great, man. It's been a good little week so far. It's going to continue to be great, man. You know what I mean? Second up, shout out to Ben Kurt. Buddy has thrown so much love to us. He thinks the Panthers are going to be better than what the Saints are. I would love that. I hate the Panthers, but he thinks the Saints is not going to be doing too well. And he also has
he's labeled the Saints right now. Yeah,
he has labeled us the number 2 team in the NFC. Complete.
Behind who?
Behind the 49ers.
Oh, I thought you said the NFC South. I was about to be pissed.
No. Yeah, NFC.
He has labeled number 2. So shout out to Ben. Hey, man, you was the Falcon. We did you a little dirty, but hey, we still fucked with you, bro. You feel me? Shout out to you boys for being here, man. It's been a good little show. Thanks for everybody in the comment section too. We've had some great topics, everything. Tonight we hit hard, and nobody was wrong on it. We all made valid points. So shout out to y'all. Keep bringing that, please. Shout out to the team, man. Shout out to Justin Simmons making his name known in Atlanta. He is here. We are ready for
We're ready for war,
3 weeks.
We're ready for war. Baby.
Shout out to Arthur Smith. You already got your name called out. You were number 2 trending and on Twitter. It's crazy. You're that ass. So can't wait to whoop your ass week 1. So shout out to you, sir. Man, it's been a blessing. Rise up, baby.
Absolutely. Cody, my guy, shout outs for tonight, brother.
Yes, sir. Shout out to everybody that watches and comments, man. I would say it's how we make content is get to interact with you guys. I would say so. Always keep coming. And like you said, 15 minutes on our backup quarterback based off of comments, man. So that's always awesome to see. Keep liking and subscribing and smashing that like button, guys. I would say share to Falcon fan. We're trying to get to that 500 mark before the season. Probably won't happen, but hey, we're getting there. We'll get there. So shout out to you guys. Also, shout out to my 2 co-hosts, Chase and Philip over here. Man, it's always so much fun to get on here and talk Falcon football with y'all. I don't get to do it much with many people because it's just like over so many people's heads. But here I feel right at home. So, shout out to you guys. Shout out to the Falcons, man, making moves. Giving us hope again to come in and for a reason to enjoy Falcon football game. Not that we don't every year.
Can you put your stripper money up while Cody's doing shout outs, dude? Put that shit up right now. Okay? Cody, continue on, brother.
Jeez, but so shout out to the Falcons for, giving us something to look forward to. Man, I can't wait. It's right around the corner, fellas. It is right around the corner, and I cannot wait to be on the bins Friday night for live football. I don't care if it's 2s and 3s, 3s and 4s. guys that they pull off the street and put in helmets and pads. The Falcon logo is going to be out there, and we're playing Dirty Bird football. So thank God for that, man. It's a good day every day. You get to wake up and know that Falcon football is right around the corner. So, shout out to everybody again. It's been awesome. It's been a great show. Rise up, fellas.
Absolutely, man. Once again, shout out to everybody in the comment section. This show is not possible. I say it a million times. This show is not possible without you guys in the comment section. Hit that like button, man. We appreciate everybody that tuned in here for episode 86 on a Tuesday night at 8 o'clock, man. Once again, shout out to my co-host, Philip, my co-host, Cody, bringing it big, always doing it big here on the podcast, man. Shout out to, once again, the flag, man. I'm over heels about my flag. You will see this flag in the bins this year, guys. So if you see it, come over here and let's talk some Falcon football. Once again, shout out to everybody that tuned in tonight, everybody that supported us on the road to 1K. As always, man, much love. Shout out to the wife. A week away, man, from the delivery date. A little bit of nervous. Getting a little nervous now. Stuff's getting real. So once again, keep us in your prayers. And rise up, man. Shout out to the Atlanta Falcons for keeping this interesting this offseason. They've really kept us in the loop. They've kept the content creators steady putting out content. So once again, shout out to those people. Shout out to Philip. Shout out to Cody, man. Shout out to your mama. Shout out to your aunt, your uncle. A-Town down, baby. Rise up. We out of here.